Microsoft Word, when downloaded, it created okay, let me see. I apologize. I need to go on my YouTube to find out. Okay, right now we are live. Oh my gosh, it is a different topic, edit title. 1 second. The technical problem. I'm sorry, I need to fix this one. Just
okay.
give me a few seconds. I need to fix the thumbnail. A very different thumbnail is put there. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, can you introduce yourself and stuff? First of all, today is 24th of February 2023. Somehow Microsoft Word downloaded some system and changed my defaults. Now basically forwarded it to its edge, whatever, forcing upon us some of the things. Therefore, my whole setup messed up. I need to fix this one right now. And Leslie, welcome, and the other people, if you are welcome, let me, Leslie, give you co-hosting so that you can ask people to come, okay?
Sure. Yeah.
And make co-hosts so that when people, Mushtaba, welcome. We are right now, we'll start, inshallah, Quranic study, weekly Quranic study. And let me see.
Okay, Carl just entered. Welcome, Carl. Salam alaikum. How is life? You might want to unmute.
I will change this one later. I will change, there is something there, but at least now we are public. Okay. I apologize, people. It is, the scapegoat is Microsoft Word.
Let's blame it on Bill Gates.
Bill Gates. Bill Gates mess up our thing. The whole setting. Okay, let me see.
Welcome, Sister Ani. Salam alaikum.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Okay, wrong people came, perhaps because the title was different. I apologize, people. You know, previously when we have lives. Hi, Annie.
Hello. Hello, everyone.
Salam.
Yeah. Okay, today is again February 24, 2023. This is Edip, and we have some people are not visible here. They are jinn. Jinn means invisible people, and but because they don't participate with their videos on, and therefore, if you are watching this on YouTube, you will not see the whole room. You will see only people who are visible. And we have here, okay. Now, first of all, Leslie, I asked about your whereabouts. You are in Malaysia, correct?
Yes, correct.
And Annie Zonawal, guess what? She is originally from Malaysia.
I know.
Yeah, she was star in Malaysia, and a singer, and she's known. She's a beautiful singer.
Stop.
I know, I saw your singing in Oxford University in our conference there. First time I heard you, you are basically betraying your talent. Therefore, you need to sing more. Like Cat Stevens had beautiful voice, but for a long time he gave a hiatus. Anyway, and we have Annie Zonneveld, we have Leslie Rilum, nice to see you again. We have Carl Howard. He doesn't write his last name. Perhaps you expecting me to help him out to write. And we have Kadir Ben Çelik. I know all these ladies and gentlemen for a long time, thank God. And we have also another gentleman doesn't want to be shown. Okay, we try to continue at least 1 hour, maximum 1.5 hours Quranic study. And we want to just go from the beginning. We start from the beginning, but we slow down because I talk too much. There is no one to interrupt me here. But thank God we have Annie Zonneveld. She will not be shy of stop, Edip. It is our turn. And I would really appreciate it. Because when I stop talking, it continues. I cannot stop it. I don't have break in my
You're
car.
unstoppable.
I can testify to that. I was in a car with him for 2.5 hours in England, and he spoke for the full 2.5 hours nonstop.
All right.
And meanwhile, I want to share with you something interesting going on. I was contacted by a gentleman from Iran. He said he is interviewing translators of the Quran. He has some questions for everyone. He sent me those questions. Of course, some of the questions about, in order to understand Quran, you need to know Arabic well. And he didn't say you need to be also man, but I responded those about methodology, about certain biases, and provided beautiful example. He expected me to write back about 5 pages maximum. I wrote 26 pages, more than you wanted.
That's
But
worth
now,
2.5 hours.
yeah, now people, he says he will going to bring about 40 of them. I said, if you can bring together 4 translators of the Quran, forget about 40, 4, you will be doing great accomplishment. I cannot believe I said, well, guess what? He did. He did. In fact, more than 40 people came, and there are people whom I don't know. Most of them are Sunnis, few of them are Shiite, and only very few of the few, maybe 1 or 2 people, Quran alone. One is a Pegam, and me and Leis al-Shaiban there. And the rest of it says, in order to understand the Quran, requirements, list of the requirements they share. One of them, you need to know Hadith, Sunnah. Oh my God. Anyway.
That's the traditional position.
Yeah, we'll have discussion, not discussion. I want to say, I said, instead of discussing with each others, we are coming together first time, and our sectarian biases and our ego will create too much trouble. We'll all each kind of brag about our translation. We should not fight with each other over this. We should share our epistemology, methodology, and some our translations that we think that it is better. And I try to be calm, as calm possible, but they are really, really trying their best to provoke me with some, oh my God, you have no, it is just as if we have different universe. Salam alaikum. Where we are right now, which verse we left? Leslie, when I asked you beginning, I said, what are you doing? You were on work. Everyone, you can talk a little bit about your work, what you are doing, just shortly, tell us.
Yeah, I'm trying to finish off a book called Permitting the Prohibited and Prohibiting the Permissible. That's the title. The subtitle is Jihad al-Talab and Khalwa in the Jurisprudence of Islam. And this book is intended, I plan to publish it on Tuesday next week, is intended to show how the fuqaha have basically, messed up in a way, to put it in plain English, because they made halal what Allah made haram, and they also made haram what he made halal. And I'm using 2 examples to prove the case. One is based on a paper I've written for Hashim Kamali, Professor Hashim Kamali, about halwa, the close proximity, which they made into a crime, even though there's no such crime in the Quran, right? So I'm not allowed to be in the same room with a female who is not my relative, if I do that, I have committed the crime of khalwa. I think this is really, it may be inappropriate, but it is not a crime. So they went to an extreme here. You see, this shows a certain tendency towards extremism among the fuqaha. Now, the other example I use, permitting the prohibited, and permitting the prohibited, I take the case of jihad al-talab. I'm not sure if you are familiar with this term. Literally translated, it means jihad on demand. It is basically an offensive jihad, a war of aggression to spread Islam by the sword. It requires Muslims to fight against non-Muslims every year, once a year, even when the non-Muslims are not attacking the Muslims. Now, this was based on the doctrine of the abrogation of the peace verses by the verse of the sword, and Shafi subscribed to it, and a few other people did as well. And this was basically, I think, a very serious corruption of the teaching of the Quran, because the Quran teaches peace, but the fuqaha teach war. So I'm trying to show how the fuqaha have really made a mess of Islamic law, and that we need to revise the whole system of jurisprudence and place it on firm foundation. The methodology has to be improved. The doctrine of abrogation has to be rejected completely. And the approach, the manhaj of interpreting the Quran has to be based on assumptions that are consistent with what the Quran teaches itself, which is to say that it is a clear book, that it is a complete book. We explain everything, kulli shay, and that it is a coherent book. There are no contradictions and that need to be corrected through any kind of abrogation. So that's basically an attempt to, to highlight some errors in the fiqh. And also tafsir, unfortunately, the classical or the mainstream Sunni tafsir and fiqh, and how we need to revise it on the basis of the methodology, on the basis of assumptions that are consistent with the teaching of the Quran. So that, in a nutshell, is what the book is about. Thank you.
That was nutshell, mashallah. You have a really big knot, like very huge. Okay, well, nice to see you. And do you have anything to share with us, Ani, before Carl provide us where we left? Carl, where we left, which verse? While you
240 is where we start.
Where was it?
240.
Okay.
The children of Israel is where we need to start.
Okay, 240. Annie, do you have anything to share before we start?
Sure. Real quick, I have a piece that I've written about the usage of the Quran in affirming women's rights, and it's going to be published by Al-Azhar University later this year. So that's quite remarkable. Revolutionary, actually, because we've always been at bloggerheads. And the other thing is we're organizing a global Alliance of Inclusive Muslims conference in Penang, Malaysia, in May 1st through the 3rd, 2024. So just a heads up, and you'll hear more about it as it gets organized.
Am I invited to a conference, or am I too how do you say, I have too much radiation? What's called radiation?
Toxic, you're
toxic, kind of, yeah.
You could be arrested, like Mustafa Akyol was arrested,
Okay, then I don't want to go there.
You need a permit from the religious department to talk about Islam here,
So that's why we're having it in Penang, because Penang is an island state which is held by the opposition, which is a secular opposition government administration. So that's why we're having it in Penang and not in in the other parts of Malaysia where it's ruled by the religious entity.
Very good. Yeah, the word I was looking for, radioactive. I am a radioactive guy. Okay, Linda, welcome. Linda, you don't have light. Let there be light. Your face is kind of, your hair is like a cloud, but inside the cloud we don't see it. Okay.
Hi, cloud.
Yeah. Nice to see you, Linda. Your microphone. Yes, go ahead. You can create more light if you wish.
Yeah, I've just got my lamp on, and it's dark here at Edip. It's nearly 9:30, so it's really dark in this end.
Okay, no problem. And We are starting. Kadir, do you have anything to share with us? Some good news about what you are doing? And Relum, you too, and then we start, inshallah.
Well, there is no good news, but there is no bad news too, which is good. I'm moving from the office to other office, smaller office. So I'm very busy with it. I couldn't participate the previous meetings. Sorry about that. Hopefully from now on, I would like to be here.
Okay. Relum, anything you want to say before we start?
Not much really. I'm currently working as a customer supporter for the German railways, and I meet different nationalities, and it reminds me of the verse that God said that He made us from different nationalities and different colors in order to meet each other. And yeah, all in all, I'm also studying the Bible, currently reading the Bible, and it's a fascinating holy book. And yeah.
Yeah, your voice is a little bit difficult to understand. I don't know. There's an adjustment issue. Nice to see you. Nice to see you, Relum. And Mushtaba is not going to talk, perhaps, but if you want to talk, please let us know. Here, I want to share with you the page of the where is it? Quran Reformist translation. This is still the older version we have here. But we need to update that one, inshallah. Okay, first of all, I want to start just with this one, and then we go to verse 240, where we left. This one in that group, WhatsApp group, the translators of the Quran over there. And someone once said that we need to know Sunnah, Hadith. I objected that one. And then they came up with the argument that, well, you are throwing baby with the bath water, correct? This is their common usage. There are some good Hadith in that garbage. And of course I say, well, that is a bad example, bad metaphor. It is not baby there. By discarding the hadith, you are not giving up baby. There's no really baby there. But I said, mostly it is about a serial killer offering you chicken soup. You say, don't throw the chicken soup because it is offered by a serial killer who poisoned many people, millions and billions of people. You see, they are poisoned. Some of them on the floor, some of them dead, some of them gone crazy. And therefore, you cannot trust their chicken soup. And there is much more delicious food here. And it's very healthy and also reliable, trustworthy. And that is an example. But he asked me this verse. This was the major challenge to me. He says, well, then without hadith and sunnah, how do you translate verse 9, 118? And let's read to you, because I want to start with this one. It is important to also refute their false arguments. And the verse says, also upon the three who were left behind until the land, as vast as it is, became strained to them, and their very selves became strained. They thought there is no shelter from God except to Him. Then He pardoned them that they might repent. God is the Redeemer, the compassionate. I personally see no problem in this verse. There is nothing to be not understood. And God wanted some little details about the number of the people. That's it. You don't need to know about their names and or their mother's names, correct? How tall they were, or how many cows they had, the number of their cows, the color of their cows, correct? You don't need to know, or the age of their cows. All the verse tells us there are people, they were very kind of stressed, distressed, and then they accept forgiveness from God. They committed some sins and crimes. They really genuinely, they repented from what they did, and God accepted from them. That's it. If their names. He asked me, what is their names and which tribe they belong, what happened, and says, without those stories, this verse is not understandable. And that is really the same problem that Jewish scholars, rabbis had, and they asked the color of the heifer, the beginning of the Quran, despite this verse that tells us, don't be like those people who ask frivolous questions. They ignore the most important question. They after frivolous question, irrelevant questions, and then they start making up, fabricating stories and lies. Through that, Satan distort the meaning of the verses, the application of the verse, implication of the verse, or limit of the verse. They do all these things based on these frivolous questions. Let's say the name is XYZ, the name of these three people. What extra value it adds? Information, nothing, zero, zilch. First of all, you don't know that. Instead of XYZ, it could be KLM. Oh, it was KLM. Wow, great. So what? Any other names, you would say yes. And it doesn't have any information value, zero. But through this zero information, Satan inserts some distortion. That's exactly what it does. A kind of ball of candies that is harmful for your teeth, and you are attracted by those candies, but inside there is poison. You say, well, this is candy. Well, there is much nutritious, delicious food out there. But you know, this bowl killed many people, poisoned many people. You say, well, I will not throw the candy with the poison, baby with the bathwater. Anyway, thank you very much for your patience with this one. Verse 240.
Edip, can you hear me better?
Yes, much better.
Okay.
Inshallah, we'll continue. Annie Zonewald, would you like to read and share with us what you understand, or if any issue you want to pull our attention to? Just if you start reading, each of us reads, and I don't want to be the reader because my voice is not the best, my accent is not the best.
Sure. All right. So Surah 240. O children of Israel, remember my blessings that I had blessed you with, and fulfill your pledge to me, that I may fulfill my pledge to you and revere me alone.
Yeah, you may continue, and then we can pause to discuss if there is any kind of distortion or misunderstanding, or there are any other information in other verses of the Quran, ayah, or in nature, that in God's natural book, we can discuss those.
I'd like to ask something, Edip, if you don't mind. Like, I used to ask myself why Allah making the Beni Israel some favor compared with the other nation, which they making a lot of war or like crime or something like that. And I came to conclusion that if Allah gives you like so much money, this means so much responsibility. This favor always come with some like responsibilities. Like, I believe the Jewish people has some like specialties. They're really religious people. They can understand Allah exists, but they don't really behave accordingly. I think it's not really make them very unique if they don't like make it peace.
Yeah,
but my English is like not fluent, but hope
no
you
problem.
understand.
That is sometimes said, God is racist. God, why chose children of Israel? The same question can be asked, why God sent too many messengers to them? Why did not pick another nation? Why pick them to be sampled? I think it is basically our creation. God somehow chose this way of cognitive perception that we have, the pedagogy. in our pedagogy, we have the same thing. We do the same thing. We are not questioning ourselves. For example, let's say a contractor builds a housing complex. There are, let's say, 300 houses, and picks one of them in the corner as a model house to show you. Instead of showing you one room in one other house, kitchen in another house, but one room that resembles all others, that become an example for others, focus you on one room. I think in example, instead of scattering all around the world, all different people here and there, we would not be able to focus about their history. But I think God chose children of Israel as a prototype of human Homo sapiens on earth, and they gave them blessings, and then some of them betrayed the blessings, some of them followed up, and through them showing it is like a model home. It doesn't necessarily mean that home is the better than others, or it is preferred. It is similar. Therefore, I don't see it as a racism. I see it is pedagogy. It is the teaching instrument, focuses on history of one nation, makes an example for both cases. The goodness, the best cases we see in children of Israel. Moses was the children of Israel, correct, and saved them from slavery. They fought against Pharaoh, and that the most repeated the story. And at the same time, you see also some Jewish people, they betray, children of Israel betray God's message. Some of the best people come among them, some of the worst come among them, but the same, similar in all tribes. The Quran similarly critical of Arabs, as criticized Jewish people, or I say Jewish children of Israel, the same criticism even more level to Arabs, but somehow those verses are mistranslated by Arabs. Al-Arabu ashaddu kufran wa nifaqan. Al-Arab, the Arabs are the worst in terms of being ingrate, rejection,
Hypocrisy.
and hypocrisy.
Yeah.
Of course, the following verse makes an exception. Some of the few always in every nation who are righteous, who are good people. But here it is. But Arabs are very good in nationalism. They bash children of Israel with the verses of the Quran, but they ignore this verse. Instead of translating as Arabs, Arabs, they say, no, this is Bedouins of Arabs. No. The Bedouin exists in the Quran. In another verse says Budwa. Al-Arab min al-Budwa. It says when it is Bedouins, it specifically use the word Budwa, means these are desert Arabs. But Arab means Arab. Arab means plural Arabs. Turk, Etrak, Kurd, Kurdish. Ekrat means Kurds. Thank you. Let's continue. Zani, anyone wants to say something on this?
I just wanted to refer the verse you are quoting as Surah 9, verse 101. Among the Arabs around you are hypocrites, as well as from the city people. They are vicious in hypocrisy. You do not know them, but we know them. We will punish them twice, then they will be returned to great punishment.
What verse was it?
Surah 9, verse 101.
101. Let me go there and come back here. Among the Arabs around are hypocrites, as well as from the city people. وَمِنْ حَوْلَ مِنَ الْأَعْرَابُ مُنَافِقُونَ وَمِنْ حَوْلَ الْمَدِينَةِ. Yes, mashallah. Thank you. Okay, we are there. Ani, please continue. You may be as loud as possible, because imagine that you are in crowd, a noisy crowd, and you are an anchor. Enunciate, please.
Right. Chapter 2, verse 41. Acknowledge what I have sent down, authenticating what is already with you, and do not move your mouse, please, and do not be the first to reject it. Moreover, do not purchase with me, with my signs, a cheap gain, and of me you shall be conscientious.
Yeah, here I have footnotes about, so that some people will not infer false ideas from these verses, because they want to, Yeah. But not living, yes. MashaAllah. Some people have problem with the expression, do not purchase with my signs a cheap gain. They think, what about expensive gain? Do not trade it with cheap price, since they commit the fallacy called accent. The fallacy of accent, when you emphasize one word or a few words in a statement, it can change the meaning. And it is committed in another verse too. Here, for example, do not purchase my signs for a cheap gain. I'm sorry, 4 is missing in this one. Do not trade it with a cheap price. If you say, do not trade it with a cheap price, means sell it with a better price. No, it doesn't mean. Do not trade it with a cheap price. Emphasis should be on the first part of the verse, because otherwise create major contradictions in the Quran, in the logic. And the same, this fallacy of accent is committed on إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ إِخْوَةٌ. Those who trust in God, those who are affirmers, they are brethren, correct? إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ إِخْوَةٌ. And the mu'mins are brethren, but they focus on, they make accents on the mu'mins. The mu'mins are brethren, means you cannot be brethren, brother and sister with non-mu'mins. No, it doesn't mean that. It means the mu'mins must be brethren. Let's say you have 5 kids, 2 of them fighting with each other. You say 2 of you are brothers. You don't say only 2 of you are brothers, but they translate it as only mu'mins, believers are brothers. And therefore they reject the brotherhood of children of Adam. And it is because of the fallacy of accent. Yes, thank you.
Do you think that when it says, moreover, do not purchase with my signs a cheap gain, could it also mean that do not use God as a way of earnings? Like we see how halal is being used, for example, as a way of earning income and cheap gains, right? And so using God's name in vain, for example, could that also be the case?
Of course, it is. In fact, cheap gain in the Quran is used for worldly life. The life on earth is in lowest universe. We are here tested, and Satan is allowed to basically corrupt us, corrupt the world. Therefore, it's not a perfect world. It is 7th universe. It is a dunya. Dunya comes from denaya, means low. And therefore, the whole world, if you are making the world priority, your richness, your fame, whatever, your control in this world as #1 priority, you sold your eternal life, your relation with God, your own soul to this cheap price. The whole world is cheap according to from God's perspective, from the perspective of eternity, of course.
So how would you translate La tashtaru ayatina bithamanan qalila, Brother Edip?
Yes, do not purchase, do not sell our signs for a cheap price. But I mean, the cheap price is not, it doesn't mean the emphasis is not on cheap price, the accent. If it is, then there is a false understanding. Oh, you can sell it for a high price. No, there is no price for it, but the whole world is a cheap price. Do you understand? Therefore, the cheap price, there is no alternative. The only alternative of cheap price is God's, how do you say, God's approval and eternal life. The rest of it is cheap price.
Okay.
Yes, Ani.
242, do not obscure the truth with falsehood, nor keep the truth secret while you know. 243, observe the contact prayer and contribute towards betterment and bow with those who bow.
Beautiful. What do you think, Ani, and other friends here? Contact prayer. I translated as a contact prayer, as salat, but later in my recent edited editions, it is not. This is a little bit older one. And instead of contact prayer, I preferred observe the solidarity. It is connection, of course. But I use the word solidarity, salat, because the word prayer limits it, but the word salat is much more being in solidarity with X, Y, Z. Solidarity with people, with good people, with peacemakers, solidarity with your creator, solidarity with prophet. It is in that context it is used, because salli ala to people, to Muhammad, and to anyone who deserves to be in touch. And therefore, I think by limiting with prayer, we are doing this service in some verses, which it also includes being solidarity with righteous people, with peacemakers around us. What do you think?
Well, I think you are trying to put emphasis on the connection, meaning of the word salah. And you are not alone. In monotheist translation also, 2011, I think, and 2013, they also have a similar kind of rendition of the word salah, because most of the other translations, for instance, on islamawakened.com, which has 57 English translations, they all translate the word salah as a prayer, by which they mean ritual prayer, including physical movements. So I think, yes, it's important to find a more suitable way of expressing the word salah, because it has been also rendered as having a connotation of commitment, reaching out, support, and what have you. I think you have mentioned this in one of your footnotes in your translation, in fact. Yeah, so
it is not exclusive. Praying to God, being in connection, being in solidarity with our Creator is not exclusive being in solidarity with people around us. Therefore, Salatul Jumu'ah, I understand it includes both, being in solidarity with people. It is congregational solidarity. In neighborhood, we come together with people psychologically, socially, we support each other, financially, and in every way we support each other that way. And also at the same time, Mu'mins in that congregation, it is Muslims, maybe atheists there, but Muslim atheists means peacemaker atheists. They are part of the peacemaking community. And at the same time, they could also have solidarity, be contact with God. Therefore, it is not exclusive.
I look at it as being God conscious. So there's different. So being God conscious, I think it overrides this physicality or prayer, or the ritual prayer as an example. I think you can connect and work towards betterment of society, bow with those who bow, etc., just by being God conscious, and however that translates, and how that expresses itself depends on the individual.
And also bowing is, of course, physically could be understood. I have no problem with that. People, while praying to God, thinking about God and their own introspectively, they being critical of their day and the previous day. But at the same time, it means also submitting the laws of justice and peace making, because it requires a social contract and following that as a good citizen. And that aspect is missing. And salat, again, with God, it is a promise, but with people, it is beyond promise. It is physical, financial, personal solidarity. It's not just on a mental situation like taqwa. Taqwa means righteousness, avoiding bad, evil things. But salat is a matter of action also involves. It is more general than zakat. Zakat is a subcategory of salat. Salat means overall solidarity with each other, psychological, social, economic, political, in every way. Okay.
I'm sorry for the noise, but there's construction work going on at my home, so I mute whenever I can. So 244, do you order the people to do goodness, but forget yourselves while you are reciting the book? Do you not reason? So going back to 243, with bow with those who bow, I really do believe that that has to do with being humble and humility in how you live your life.
Very nice. Beautiful. I think beautiful. Yeah, that is there, that meaning. I appreciate that you reminded us. أفلا تعقلون, do you not reason? But Sunni religion says it is not religion. Of course, I have problem with the word even religion. It is not aql, they say. It is naql. It rhymes, you know. When it rhymes, people love it. You know, how they distort it by creating some rhyming slogans. Or religion is not based on aql, but based on naql. Wow. Since it rhymes, it must be true. This is unbelievable.
Edip, you mean Nako, this one, this year?
Yeah, when necessary, that too. That's right. Force. You know, there are some scholars who said that the people who don't pray have to be killed. First, they have to be beaten. Like Armavardi says that also. And at Azhar University, they still teach that people who don't go to Friday prayers have to be killed. They still teach that people who don't pay zakat also have to be killed. They teach extremist version of Islam, unfortunately.
Yep. Okay, I think she's gone. And Linda, would you like to take over verse 45?
Sure. Seek help through patience and the contact prayer. It is a difficult thing, but not so for the humble. Can you move it up,
Yes.
please?
Are you?
Can you
Hold
hear
on.
me okay?
Okay, yeah.
The ones who conceive that they will meet their Lord and that to him they will return. O children of Israel, remember my blessings that I had blessed you with, and that I had preferred you to all the worlds. Beware of a day when no person can avail another person, nor will any intercession be accepted from it, nor will any ransom be taken, nor will they have supporters.
Yeah,
It's
let's
interesting
stop.
with,
Go
go on,
ahead.
carry on.
Wow, this is long about intercession. Go ahead.
No, I was going to come to intercession because I understand that intercession is not for those who disobey God, for the criminals or things like that. But intercession, God tells us in some verses in the Quran, and I haven't got them to hand, that intercession is acceptable, but only if it coincides with the truth. So intercession is obviously an act that will be accepted for those who God knows that they are truthful, but for the disbelievers or the criminals, no intercession will help them in any way.
Well, the Quran, chapter 2, verse 48, rejects all the intercession, says
right.
all intercession belongs to God. It is God's control. Rejects the idea of saving someone, a sinful or a criminal, through some holy person will save you, basically from God's punishment. They will be more merciful than God. That is a shirk, and God rejects it. However, the word intercession, when it is not used in that meaning, if it is used to be someone in between testifying to the truth, because the Quran says, وَقَالَ الصَّوَابَ إِلَّا مَنْ أَذِنَ لَهُ الرَّحْمَنُ, only who will speak, only those who Rahman will give permit, and وَقَالَ الصَّوَابَ, they say the truth. means
Yes.
like the intercession of Muhammad in the Quran is mentioned, chapter 25, verse 30 says, وَقَالَ الرَّسُولُ يَا رَبِّ إِنَّ قَوْمِ اتَّخَذُوا هَذَا الْقُرْآنَ مَهْجُورًا. And they expecting Muhammad to save them. Muhammad say, I don't know. I have no clue about you. Are you stupid? God knows about you. And I am not more merciful than God. I'm not going to save you. I cannot even save myself if I am wrong. Therefore, the messenger's intercession, according to Quran, will say the truth. My Lord,
Correct.
my people have deserted the Quran. Therefore,
Yeah.
rejects the mythology of the terminology, the kind of the meaning ascribed by idol worships, but as a literal, as a dictionary meaning of it, it says, well, it is possible, of course, the one who enters only will be a witness against them.
Mm.
Beautiful. And where you are, and this one again, contact prayer, I think it doesn't really fit. It is وَاسْتَعِينُوا بِالصَّبْرِ وَالصَّلَاةِ, by being resilient, patience even maybe not the best word. Sabr means to persist against hardship. Maybe patience is part of it. Yes, patience is, but also be resilient and be patient and resilient. And was-salat, also, how do you seek help through salat? Well, from God, you ask help. That's beautiful. That is the contact prayer between us and God. We ask help. And also through contact with people around us, solidarity with them. Therefore, it should be the word prayer is partially reflecting the meaning of the word salat. And therefore, it is more general. Of course, it includes prayer to God, but also it includes being solidarity, helping people around you.
Actually, I'd always wondered about, there's a verse, I think it's 29:45, talks about the contact prayer, prohibit evil and vice. And I'd always wondered how a prayer can prohibit evil and vice. I think that's, can you pull up 29:45?
Yes, exactly the verse. I mean, if you do it with your right heart, you know, and it's
29:45.
Yeah.
Inna salata tanha. I'm sorry, the calligraphy adds some elif, transform Y, the letter Y to elif. There is some problem in the program. I apologize for this. Those who know Arabic, this is not elif, this is Y. Anyway, go ahead.
So it says there, recite what is inspired to you of the book and hold the contact prayer. For the contact prayer prohibits evil and vice, and the remembrance of God is the greatest. God knows everything you do. So I'd always wondered, how can a prayer actually prohibit evil and vice?
Well, I think the prayer, accordingly, both prayer done really without associating partners to God, a person who commemorates God, that person will be able to reform himself, repent from his crimes, sins, and will try to always self-adjustment, provides connection with God, remembering the day of judgment, and it will help the person. But at the same time, I think if this is not only prayer to God, it is also solidarity with people, not only communication, solidarity with God, then also it also immediately, the very action of being in solidarity will prohibit evil and vice in the society and will create a better society. I agree with you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Did you want to say something about intercession? You started to say something before I made some comments.
Who?
You did.
I already said it, what I wanted to say.
Okay.
In fact, on
Thank you.
intercession, I have whole article. Is it this one? Which verse was it? 48. I had a whole footnote, endnote. Okay. Should we continue until at least, let's see where a section we stop. Let's continue until we come to basic 50 something. What do you think? At least 10 verses. Let's go.
50 maybe. Yeah.
Yes. 45.
45. Do you want me to continue or would someone else like to read?
Please continue. You can finish it up.
Okay. 45 then. Seek help through patience and the contact prayer. It is a difficult thing, but not so for the humble. The ones who conceive that they will meet their Lord and that to him they will return. O children of Israel, remember my blessings that I had blessed you with and that I had preferred you to all the worlds.
Wow, you remembered. I blocked it, mashallah.
You did.
Yeah.
Beware of a day when no person can avail another person, nor will any intercession be accepted from it, nor will any ransom be taken, nor will they have supporters.
And let me put here some references here about intercession. Yes.
Oh yeah, a lot.
A lot of verses. This is major verse rejecting the intercession.
Yes.
Verse 48, 70. Oh, it doesn't show somehow here. Yeah. And then you can click on it. These are hyperlinks.
Oh, that's good. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it is. It brings the verses. You don't need to click on it. Just bring cursor on it. It shows the verses. Very fast, you can go over here. This is a beautiful website, simple, but really very useful.
Which
also
one
in
is
Arabic
this, Edip?
words. Huh?
Which one is this? Is this Rainbow?
Quranics.
Quranics. Okay.
And also the Arabic word, when you click on it, it takes you to dictionary. For example, Shafa, you see here, there is English dictionaries. You click on it, Shafa, and this is the word Shafa mentions in the Quran 31 times. These are all the verses where it is mentioned.
Oh.
And you can see individual verses where the root of the Shafa. Just you click on the Arabic. Arabic, every word is a hypertext connected to dictionaries and also the list of the verses where it is mentioned. Do you like it?
Yeah, I do. Like it.
Yeah, this is okay. Let's go over it. Anyone who wants to see the footnote references? Okay.
How long have we got? It's a lot of them.
Yeah, and also I have a connection. I have some with the Christians and a lot of cross references to Bible in the endnotes. Let's go a few more verses, Linda. I really appreciated your help.
That's
and you can also raise your hand a little bit. Your face is cut.
Oh, sorry. my computer, my laptop doesn't sound very, the mic's not very good on it, so I have to try and keep it low.
Well, you don't have an excuse. It is a simple mechanical engineering problem. You can solve it.
I know. I'm not technically minded though. Look, I'll read. That has to be enough. Where are we doing from 49? Yeah. We saved you from the people of Pharaoh. They were punishing you with a severe retribution, killing your children and shaming your women. And that was a great trial from your Lord.
Wow, here it is. We saved you, plural, from the people of Pharaoh. Here is just addressing children of Israel, correct?
Yeah.
And but in that one is also addressing us. These stories, they think it is told us just to hate them, to love them. No, it is to example for us. These are lessons for us. Unfortunately, many Sunni or Shiite people, oh no, it is about them, not about me. Goodness sake, It is about you. You are doing exactly the same thing that Jewish people are doing, or Christians are doing, the wrong things. And it is about you. No, it is about them. They are bad people. No. We could be the same people. We are doing the same thing. Yes, mashallah.
Edip, I have a question.
Go ahead.
On 2 verse 47, it talks about al-alamina. If it is translated as worlds, do you think there might be a possibility that there are multiverses, different worlds, or parallel worlds?
Alamin comes from the word ilm, means knowledge. Alamin, the known universe.
Mm.
Basically known everything, among the known, whatever we know about them, whatever we see among them, therefore visible or known universe, the visible universe.
Okay.
And sometimes you see it may be meaning the people, that visible people, all the people known to us. Within the context, sometimes means everything that known to you.
Mm.
Yes.
Okay.
Where you are right now, it is this one you read, 49, correct? Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Let's go 50.
We parted the sea for you. Thus we saved you and drowned the people of Pharaoh while you were watching.
Yeah. Now,
Do you want to stop there?
I don't know whether there is the next headline. Okay, until 55 we will go, inshallah. Okay.
Okay.
And
sure.
then I would love to a little bit ask you a question. Everyone, those who are here, this 250, is this a miracle?
We parted the sea for you, thus we saved you and drowned the people of Pharaoh while you were watching.
Well, there have been documentaries on how to understand the parting of the sea. Actually, there was a explanation that there might be two strong winds that could separate the sea, and basically the underground of the Red Sea had some corals, and they could walk on those corals. If there were two strong winds, they just parted the sea, and they could walk there. So basically,
I'm not really interested by trying to normalization of the thing. I think if there is God, if God sends messengers with extraordinary claim that they receive revelation from the creator of the universe, the only way to prove that they are right, it should be extraordinary evidence to support, not just ordinary evidence. Therefore, they kind of trying to, how do you say, interpret miracles as non-miracles. I think it is philosophically is bad idea. They have no idea.
No, it's ordered by God. The two strong winds are ordered by God. That's simple.
I know, but there is no, we don't know it. What we think, how could it be? Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Yes, gentlemen, Carl.
I have a thought on in a tsunami is where an earthquake is happening and the waters pull way back.
Right, yeah.
And then come in suddenly rushing. So there could have been something like that. And the miracle will be the timing of it. The precise timing is
exactly
in God's control, but the actual physical event could have been like a tsunami.
Yeah,
but that wouldn't work, would it? Because it says parted on here, and a tsunami, the water draws back and then comes in. So that wouldn't work with that.
But
someone could say tsunami lasted a long time. When children of Israel passed to the other side, then it closed on people of the Pharaoh. It is possible to say it was a long tsunami.
No, because it says parted, so therefore it withdraws. A tsunami withdraws and then comes in again. It doesn't part. It doesn't take one side and then the other side.
We don't know exactly.
This was the Red Sea, not a bank. So there could have been actions going that it could have pulled back from a point that
Parted
because
and
this
come back.
is like a narrow
Okay.
sea, not like the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
coordinated
So
by God.
it could, I could see where, it could be pulled with, yeah,
Okay. Here is a simple also fact.
it's
but
within
some
the
people-
physical realm.
Yes, here is another simple fact, but some people, I'm very surprised they miss it. They think this is miracle. This verse by itself is not a miracle. This verse is narration of the miracle. And if you don't have a miraculous proof of this book, this verse will be only a story told, an extraordinary story told. We should not believe it at all, because why should I believe it? Just because it is written in. Therefore, the stories of the miracle themselves, of course, are not miracle. They don't prove that they are miracle, unless the whole book, and it is proven beyond doubt that is word of God, then we know we don't need to doubt. We cannot doubt this information, though it is very difficult to believe extraordinary claims, but it requires the whole Quran to be proven. But some people are very ignorant, even this simple elementary philosophical question, they are not able to question. They say, well, this is a miracle, here it is. Nope, this is not miracle. Story of the miracle is not miracle. Okay, would you like to continue a few more verses until 55?
Sure. We appointed a meeting time for Moses of 40 nights, but then you took the calf after him while you were wicked. Then we forgave you. Whoops, where are you going?
Okay, go ahead.
Then we forgave you after, so that perhaps you would be thankful. We gave Moses the book and the criterion, so that perhaps you would be guided. Moses said to his people, "O my people, you have wronged yourselves by taking the calf. So repent to your maker and face yourselves. That is better for you with your maker, so he would forgive you. He is the forgiving, the compassionate." When you
Mashallah.
said,
Yeah, here, we stop here. And this is wow, this is interesting. Okay. Any question, any comment, any ideas on these verses?
The expression takutulu anfusakum is normally translated as kill yourselves, but you translate differently. Face yourself.
Face
So how do you-
yourself.
So how do you rationalize your translation, bro?
Well, I said fakbilu anfusakum. I read it differently. I think perhaps it is originally fakbilu anfusakum means facing yourself.
Or maybe it could be kill your ego, anfusikum, like souls, kill your ego.
That is difficult. Yeah, maybe kill your ego, but self, another verse, you are doing, you are hurting yourself, your ego. People are criticized for not treating their nafs. This is the word nafs. Well, in one place, you are asked to treat your nafs well, and here, kill your nafs.
Yeah, it's difficult.
Forget
Yeah,
about
it's difficult.
treating badly. You want to kill, but on other thing, he wants you to keep it better. And God wants us to also not to kill any nafs. Says you were killing the nafs. God criticizing them for killing another human being, because nafs means consciousness. And therefore, it will be difficult to have this multi-meaning in the word. In one way, it is good to treat that word well. We must treat it well. In other, we must kill it. I feel difficulty in that one.
Metaphorical.
But
yeah.
I still understand it is possible to say, well, nefs stands for ego. On other side, nefs stands for alter ego. No, not alter ego. Whatever, good thing. Okay, no problem. But it is possibility, I think, this could be fakbilu anfusakum, face yourself. it is, I'm not very, honestly, I'm not very kind of insistent on this. I believe that it is possibility of that. It is yet to be proven. I don't have archaeological evidence to show this one yet.
Because in Surah 4, verse 29, a similar expression occurs. La taqtulu anfusakum, don't kill yourselves. Yeah.
Exactly, literally contradict this one. What was it? Which verse? For what?
29, verse 29.
Yeah, verse 29. Yeah. بينكم بالباطل. Okay. يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تأكلوا أموالكم بينكم بالباطل. Do not falsely, unjustly eat each other's basically belong, consume. ألا تكون تجارة عن ترضى منكم, with the exception of trade. ولا تقتلوا أنفسكم. Do not kill your nafs or each other. Whatever is, the other one is really contradicting that one. And anyway, but literally it could be, because in language sometimes you can have literal contradiction, but meaning could be different. Correct? For example, I say in Turkish, he gitar çaldı, o dürüst bir adamdı. Gitar çaldı. Gitar çaldı means he played guitar. And but in Turkish also means he stole guitar. The word play, çalmak, means stealing. Another meaning means playing. But if I say gitar çaldı, and then he was an honest person, therefore it means did not steal, but did what? Play. Therefore, it could be literal contradiction, but the meaning of the word could be two different meaning. That is possible. The language is not like mathematics. Sometimes context define the meaning of the word, whether limits the meaning, correct?
Mutashibat and the other one, the 3 verse
Okay.
3.
I want to stay here, and then maybe a few words if you want to say, people, before we close. We stopped at 55. Assalamu alaikum, Qadir.
Aleykümselam ve rahmetullah.
Mushtaba. Oh, Ani, you are still here.
Yeah.
And Rilum is here. Carl is here, mashallah. Leslie is sleepless.
Some catching up to do.
Yeah. Should I invite you to the that conference, Leslie? Though you did not have translated on your own, but you contributed some. If you want, I can invite you to that meeting.
No, I think maybe I should stay out of it because
Yes, stay out of it. I
yeah.
think they you
It
will
is
not have
better, yeah.
credibility at
It's
all
better.
among them because you don't know Arabic as much as they expect. You know some Arabic, but they will test you in Arabic. And I tell them, goodness sake, all of you and your professors, Arabic professors, cannot know Arabic as much as Abu Jahl and Abu Lahab knew. But they didn't understand the Quran. They entirely missed the
Edip, Ibn Goat, Abu Monkey, you know them.
Yes, it is incredible. It is not necessary condition. And here it is, according to your own stories, they were the best in literature. They were the best. Their Arabic was incredible. And okay, that means they know better than you, but according to the Quran, there was a wall between them and the verses of the Quran. They couldn't understand. Therefore, it is the reason, correct? Linda, you and your
Yes.
husband, you were here. I still remember you told me we were reading the Quran, a Reformist translation, Quranic study. We had small here, and you find an error in my translation. And then you and your
Yeah.
husband, I was so happy. And you really found an error creating correction. And you have no clue about Arabic. You and your husband do not know Arabic. Say it. Say, be a witness. because I tell people I give
I
you
don't know Arabic.
Yeah,
I don't
you
know Arabic.
and Chris Moore doesn't know either. But
No.
you found in my translation an error, major error, because you use God-given mind, and God is Rahman, is able to teach you, though you are
Yes.
a
You don't need
British.
Arabic. You just
Yeah.
need God.
Yes, mashallah,
I testify to that. That is the truth.
mashallah. This was good. Yeah, I give examples sometimes. Here it is. This is Linda Moore. And Leslie also is another beautiful example. Ani, these are examples that regardless of the language, Qadir, and I learn from you guys. And sometimes I may show not, but honestly, your input is very important. Therefore, I want to show you this one more site before going back. Okay. In each Quranic study, I want to remind, this one is this translation, and we put it is, where is it? Do you see it? Brainbowbooks.com. My translation is open for public criticism, but you can put a verse number, chapter number, verse number here, or you can go from the menu, chapters here, verse here, and then you can write suggestions, 361 characters, or criticism. The word suggestion is light. Criticism, debunking, anything you want. Do you see it, people?
Very
Yeah, yeah.
nice. Very nice.
Alif Lam Mim. Okay, beautiful. And then it comes to me as a what? As an Excel sheet. Please do it. If you see some errors in my translation, just go there, put the verse number, and then you don't need to be very verbose and even complete sentences. Just remind me with few words the problem that you see. Make a suggestion.
It was brainbowbooks.com.
Rainbow Books. Rainbow.
Brainbowbooks.com.
Yeah, brainbowbooks.com. I really appreciate any. And also you enter with your email address. I know who the person make those suggestions. If I have follow-up question, I want to discuss with you, learn more from you, I will contact you. And this is the best way to open for whole public to contribute to the book. And I will also acknowledge in the beginning of the book the contribution, anyone who contribute this one. I learn from even children, and you too. Don't be arrogant. We should not. God teaches us through birds, through animal. You see, humans, a bird taught him, correct? Something what to do.
The
We
hoopoe.
learn.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm just trying to get into Brainbow Books, and it says your registration could not be completed due to an error in the mail server.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay, then I will talk with the guy. I think there shouldn't be a problem, but I will talk to him. You tried to register? You did it? Simple
Yeah.
registration.
Yeah.
Okay. It didn't accept you, correct?
No, that's what it said. Dear Linda Moore, your user registration could not be completed due to an error in the mail server.
Okay.
Please
Would
try
you
again
mind
later
if-
to register.
Would you mind if you write it down, just this one, or copy paste in WhatsApp? I convey to my friend who is dealing with this, so that he can fix it.
Edip, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Do you want more people to join this Quran reading on Fridays?
That would be fantastic. Absolutely. We want to improve it. And also maybe every week, one person says, next section, I will be the one who will be reading and presenting it. And maybe 2 people, that would be nice. I don't want to be in the thing. I want you to control it, and once in a while give me some chance to talk. Great. Nice meeting you, people.
Nice
Salam.
meeting
Nice meeting you.
Salam,
Thank you very
everyone.
much.
Bye.
Alaikum
Salam,
salam.
everyone.
Love you, Edip.
Salam.
Love
I've
you.
just sent that to